Now you guys know me, I rarely ever double upload, and I only ever do it if something really big comes out that I feel like I still need to talk about, but I didn't get the chance to before, and it really can't wait. And I already made a video today because of course we had the Nintendo Direct that happened today, which showed us some other games coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I already made a video going over my thoughts and some of the big announcements and how I feel about that. But from all the stuff that came out with the Nintendo Direct, there was actually one piece of information that came out, which is also a really big story that's happening right now, and it's something that a lot of people might not know about, but it essentially confirms a really amazing thing that's going to be happening for the Nintendo Switch 2. So of course I gotta talk about this because this is actually making me very excited. So in the Nintendo Direct earlier today, we got the announcement for something known as virtual game cards, which is going to be for anybody who purchases their Nintendo Switch games digitally, and essentially it allows you to be able to transfer a digital game from one Nintendo Switch console to another Nintendo Switch console, but also gives you the ability to kind of like game share or lend somebody a game that you have purchased digitally if they're under your Nintendo Switch Online family membership plan. And so it's a pretty cool feature. It's a cool way for you to be able to kind of like game share one of your games, let somebody try it out for a little bit and kind of see how they like it and stuff. And it's a really cool way for you to be able to kind of move around your digital games. Now, I purchase all of my Nintendo Switch games physically, so this isn't really kind of a big thing for me, but if you are somebody who has like a massive SD card and you've got multiple Switches, I guess, and if you're just really buying all of your Switch games digitally, this is a pretty cool thing that you can do now to transfer it and be able to free up space and also lend people games that you want to have them be able to have the chance to play them. But they also kind of silently confirmed that this is also going to be for the Nintendo Switch 2, and you're also going to be able to transfer games from the Switch to the Switch 2. Now on Nintendo's website, they go into more detail about exactly how this virtual game card is going to work, but it's really if you look very carefully at the bottom of the website where they silently confirm something that was not mentioned inside of the Nintendo Direct at all, and could be a big reveal that's going to be happening in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Alright, so here we are on the Nintendo website where they're talking about the virtual game cards, and if we scroll down here we can see some images about exactly what it's going to look like once the update comes out, and like being able to see all of the virtual game cards that you have, and then it talks about like how you can move them between your different Switch systems and like using your Nintendo account, and then also how you can lend games to the other people that are inside of your Nintendo account family group, and how you can basically game share with them. But the interesting part is like if we scroll all the way to the bottom here in this fine text, if we take a look right here, it says compatible systems must be linked to a Nintendo account to use virtual game cards. Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games can only be loaded on a Nintendo Switch 2 system. To move virtual game cards between the two systems, you must pair the systems via local wireless and an internet connection, but only when pairing the systems for the first time. Up to 2 systems total can be linked per Nintendo account. So if you read that really fast, you might not notice it, but it's really when you look closely, it says right here, Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. They're separating two different types of Nintendo Switch 2 games. The first one is Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games. This of course just means games that are only going to be coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2. But what are Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games? That to me sounds like games that are going to have a Nintendo Switch 2 version, like what we've all been kind of talking about for months now, that there might be the possibility of getting games from the current Nintendo Switch to get upgraded on the Nintendo Switch 2, now having access to so much more power and performance to hopefully have like better frame rates and better visuals and upgrades, because that's what it sounds like to me. I know some people are thinking that they're just talking about like physical or digital games. I'm not really getting that at all. I think that when they say Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games, they mean like physical and digital, but in terms of this, like it doesn't even matter for physical because they're only talking about digital anyway, because this entire virtual game card thing is for digital games only. So why would they need to separate like the two different types of games for that? Like this just means like Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games that you bought digitally, but this is talking about Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games that you have digitally as well, that you can also transfer using this virtual game card, but that's only going to be able to load onto a Nintendo Switch 2 system. And so this to me pretty much confirms that there are in fact going to be games from the Nintendo Switch that are going to have like these special Nintendo Switch 2 edition versions that are only going to work on the Nintendo Switch 2, where they're going to have an update or an upgrade or something that's going to take advantage of the next generation system to hopefully offer better performance and better visuals and just be like an overall better experience for the game. I'm assuming Nintendo is going to talk more about these Nintendo Switch 2 edition games inside of the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and I am really hoping that these upgrades are in fact going to be free. That would of course be the nicest option, but if Nintendo does want to get a little greedy, they could probably charge a little bit of money for these as well. We did kind of see something like that when they did kind of transferring all of your Wii Virtual Console games to the Wii U Virtual Console, which I know isn't exactly the same thing, but they did kind of have a small fee for that where you had to pay like $1 per each game or something. So it's possible Nintendo could be charging for this, where maybe it's like if you want to have the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of a game, you have to pay like a $5 or $10 fee or something, but the best case scenario would be if all of them just get free updates and free patches that come out on the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm also really hoping that Nintendo does go fully into this. Like, I want to see Nintendo Switch 2 edition games out the wazoo. I want to see tons of them for a lot of the different games that we have on the current Nintendo Switch. Please do not make this like a very small amount of games, like, oh, only Breath of the Wild, only Tears of the Kingdom, only Metroid Prime 4, and like 1 or 2 other games get a special Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Like, please make it so that literally any game that's able to benefit from this and have like better power and performance to give you a better overall experience, have that please on the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, I want to see all of the Xenoblade games get this, like be able to get those games to run in 60 FPS, be able to use the upscaling to improve the visuals and make them not look super blurry and fuzzy when you're playing those games. And I could definitely see that even for some of the other games that we've seen as well. Like Age of Calamity is like one of the biggest games that always gets talked about, where the frame rate in that game is just really bad, especially when there's a lot of enemies and things going on screen. Have that game get an entire Nintendo Switch 2 edition where like the entire game runs much better, it looks a little bit better. Have that for it. Have like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which has always been kind of like memed upon for how badly it runs and how slow it is and like the stutters and everything like that. Have that game be able to run much smoother and better. Like, really take advantage of this and have a lot of these games, because there are certain games that I actually didn't get on the Nintendo Switch because I heard that they didn't run the best. Like, I know when Echoes of Wisdom came out, I kind of heard like from a lot of the reviews and people saying that like if you have a lot of those echoes and a lot of things going on screen, the game actually starts to kind of dip in frame rate and it doesn't really play the best, and I don't really want that kind of experience. But if Echoes of Wisdom and even Link's Awakening, which I heard had a similar thing, if those games now get updated like Nintendo Switch 2 editions that have like better frame rates and they just run much better, I would actually be more interested in getting those games. So I'm really hoping that they do this to like the entire extent that it can go and really have a bunch of Nintendo Switch 2 editions, because I think that would make a lot of these games on the current Nintendo Switch have a completely new life now on the Nintendo Switch 2 and would get a lot more people interested in potentially buying them. But yeah, this just made me very excited, because really one of the biggest things that I wanted to see on the Nintendo Switch 2 was a lot of Switch 1 games getting the ability to get like an enhancement or an upgrade, and we really got to see that a lot with like the PS5, where so many PS4 games got a PS5 version where they had better visuals and resolution, better frame rates, and the load times got drastically reduced. And I would love to see a lot of Switch 1 games get the same type of treatment on the next gen system as well. And so this is very much looking like that's what's going to happen, and we're going to know for sure in just a few days, because the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct is just around the corner and it's only a few days away. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about the Switch 2, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Are you excited now that a lot of these games have the ability now to potentially get upgrades on the Nintendo Switch 2? How do you think that it's all going to work? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @ActualAero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.